Remember Pontiac, Saab, and Hummer? Once icons, now just faded names in history. 5 more brands are next. From luxury legends to American giants, these car makers are collapsing fast, some selling fewer cars a year than Toyota does in a day. We uncovered the brutal numbers, and what we found might make you rethink your next car. Our first dying brand? Once a dream car, now a luxury disaster dealers can't even give away. At number 5, Maserati. Maserati used to be the brand you name-dropped when you wanted to sound exotic, fast, and expensive. But today, it's facing one of the sharpest declines in the luxury car world. Global sales collapsed from 26,600 in 2023 to just 11,300 in 2024, a brutal 57% drop. And those numbers came right after Maserati rolled out new models like the Grecale SUV. Instead of lifting the brand, they've sunk it further, dragging Maserati into a $260 million operating loss. The US market tells the same story. Just 4,819 cars sold last year, barely 0.03% of the market. What's worse, Stellantis, Maserati's parent company, has publicly said any brand that doesn't make money will be shut down. And right now, Maserati is burning cash. Executives are already talking about finding the best home for the brand, code for either a sale or the chopping block. The current lineup isn't helping either. Once iconic models like the Ghibli and Quattroporte have been discontinued. The Levante SUV is aging fast. Even the MC20 supercar had its electric version canceled in early 2025. New EVs like the Gran Turismo Folgore are still coming, but slowly and with little buzz. Even where Maserati tries to stand out, it's falling short. Reviews call the Grecale Trofeo overpriced and underwhelming. Reliability ranks among the worst in luxury, and resale value? A Levante loses nearly 3/4 of its value in 5 years. That's worse than most economy cars. Maserati still makes beautiful vehicles with stunning designs and sharp road feel, and loyal fans haven't walked away yet. But in an EV-driven market, where Porsche, BMW, and Mercedes are sprinting ahead, Maserati is stalling, and there's no guarantee it can afford to catch up. Maserati's stuck in the slow lane, but the next brand? It took a full-speed detour straight into irrelevance, and barely anyone noticed. At number 4, Buick. Not long ago, Buick was riding high in China, its single biggest market, where it sold millions of cars and dominated middle-class garages. But fast forward to now, and things have taken a brutal turn. Between 2020 and 2024, Buick's sales in China collapsed by a staggering 65%. What happened? A tidal wave of domestic electric vehicle makers like BYD and NIO swept the market with fresher tech, better prices, and government support Buick just couldn't match. With China once accounting for 4 out of every 5 Buicks sold globally, that crash wasn't just bad, it was existential. In the US, Buick tried to bounce back with new SUVs like the Envista and Envision, and for a minute, it looked like it might work. In early 2025, sales surged to their best quarter in nearly 20 years. But here's the catch. Both those models are imported, mostly from China or South Korea. And with new 25% tariffs hitting Chinese-built vehicles, analysts are already saying those price hikes could ruin Buick as a going entity in America. To make things worse, Buick still hasn't launched a single Ultium-based electric vehicle in the US, despite GM promising an all-electric Buick lineup by 2030. The brand's EV future, for now, exists only as a concept car and a distant deadline. Sure, Buick scores well on reliability, second only to Toyota in J.D. Power's 2024 rankings. But even that silver lining can't save it from the storm. Shrinking dealership networks, rising part prices, a fading image with younger buyers, and absolutely no segment where it clearly leads. Buick's nameplate still means something to a few, but if GM doesn't step in with real investment in US manufacturing, it may soon become just another badge in the museum. Before we move on, subscribe if you care about where your next car's headed, or if you just want to avoid ending up with a badge no one recognizes next year. At number 3, Jaguar. Jaguar has all but disappeared from the road. And not because it's evolving, it's because it's stopped. In 2025, Jaguar has just one model left for sale globally, the aging F-Pace SUV, while everything else, from the electric I-Pace to the sleek F-Type coupe, has been pulled, not paused, pulled. The company says it's gearing up for a big reinvention in 2026, when it'll relaunch as an ultra-luxury electric brand. But that means a full year, possibly more, with no new models in dealerships, no showroom traffic, and no revenue. The numbers tell the story. Jaguar sold 180,000 vehicles in 2018. In 2024, just 33,000. US market share down to 0.06%. That's a rounding error. Even inside Jaguar Land Rover, Jaguar is a distant sideshow, barely 12% of group sales. The brand's core lineup has vanished. Sedans like the Jaguar XF and XE are dead. The once hyped I-Pace struggled with range and recalls. The F-Type is ending, and the promised electric replacements? Still years away. Jaguar says it'll return with 3 all-electric models priced over $100,000, aiming for Bentley territory. That's ambitious and risky. While Jaguar idles, competitors like Tesla, BMW, and Mercedes are dominating the electric space with tech-rich models already on the road. Meanwhile, Jaguar's dealer network is shrinking, with stores closing or converting to Land Rover-only service. And let's not forget the 25% import tariff now hitting UK-built models in the US, making whatever is left even harder to sell. Yes, Jaguar's cars still look stunning, and the F-Type remains one of the best driving coupes in its class. But stunning doesn't keep a brand alive. When even loyal buyers can't find a car to buy, and the brand vanishes from showrooms, it's not a reset, it's a retreat. Before we get to the biggest collapse of them all, let's take a look at a 100-year-old icon that's quietly slipping into history. At number 2, Chrysler. Chrysler used to stand tall, one of Detroit's big three, the badge behind icons like the 300 sedan and the original minivan. But now, Chrysler is hanging on by a thread. In 2024, it sold just 124,686 vehicles in the US, down nearly 80% from its peak in 2005. And here's the real red flag. Almost 90% of those sales came from just one vehicle, the aging Pacifica minivan. That's right, Chrysler's entire US showroom now consists of the Pacifica and a fleet-only version called the Voyager. The popular 300 sedan has been discontinued, and its last hurrah only added a few thousand units before vanishing. While competitors like Toyota and Kia are modernizing with full hybrid vans and electric family haulers, Chrysler is stuck on a 2016 platform with dated software and no clear EV launch in sight. Plans for new models, like the Airflow EV crossover, were quietly shelved. Even the buzzworthy Halcyon concept is now years away from production. Internally, Stellantis barely talks about Chrysler anymore. Its brand boss now oversees Dodge too, signaling how sidelined it's become. The ownership experience doesn't help. Chrysler ranks dead last in reliability, according to J.D. Power. Recalls, part delays, and steep depreciation have turned the Pacifica into a punchline on TikTok and Reddit. Some owners even report engine replacements denied under warranty, fueling viral backlash. Dealers are nervous. With tariffs on Canadian-built vehicles hitting hard, Chrysler idled Pacifica production twice in early 2025. Many dealers are shifting focus to more profitable brands, and insiders now openly ask, why keep Chrysler at all? Chrysler turns 100 years old in 2025, but it's hard to imagine it celebrating with more than a logo and a memory. Unless there's a sudden surge of funding and product urgency, Chrysler's next milestone might be its last. And finally, the worst collapse of all. A brand that's lost over half its buyers, shut down dealerships, and still has no EVs. If nothing changes soon, this one's done. At number 1, Infiniti. Infiniti once stood as Nissan's bold step into luxury, a serious alternative to Lexus with sharp design and performance. But today, it's barely holding on. US sales have collapsed more than 60% since 2017, dropping from 153,000 to just 58,000 units in 2024. And Q1 2025 isn't helping. Numbers are already sliding again. With just about 240 dealers left, most are struggling to sell even 24 cars a month. Some have merged with Nissan just to survive, and others have shut down entirely. The showroom tells a tough story. The Q50 sedan is ending after a 12-year run. The QX60 is showing its age, and the QX50 and QX55 compact SUVs will be gone by the end of the year. Only the all-new Infiniti QX80, a full-size SUV with genuine upgrades, is bringing any buzz, but one strong model can't carry a dying brand. Infiniti has missed nearly every key trend. It has no electric vehicle on sale, no modern driver assist tech on par with rivals, and some models still don't support wireless Apple CarPlay. Design-wise, the cars now blur into Nissan's lineup, eroding whatever luxury image Infiniti once had. Globally, things aren't better. Infiniti already pulled out of Europe, Australia, and South Korea. In China, the biggest car market in the world, sales have plummeted to under 2,000 vehicles per year. Tariff fears forced a pause on its Mexican-built SUVs, while delayed EVs now target 2027 or later. Despite decent owner satisfaction scores and a loyal few, the brand is sliding off shoppers' radar. If Nissan doesn't inject major capital, new products, and a clear identity soon, Infiniti won't just fade. It'll be remembered as a luxury experiment that never evolved. These 5 brands are falling off the map, but what's rising in their place? Our next video uncovers 4 car makers that are actually beating Toyota. Click now and see who's winning.